everyone, it's Andrea Praver with Great Expectations Realty, and today I am with my good friend Chris here, and we're going to talk about why he's here, who he is, what he's doing, and all sorts of fun stuff. So go ahead and take a look. Okay, so why don't you go ahead and tell everyone who you are and how we met and why we met and all of that.
Okay, well, I'm Chris. I'm from Northern California, and how we met, well, I guess a little bit more about myself is I always wanted to be a real estate investor. Now, thanks to Andrea, I am. Got my first house here, and so here in California, real estate is so expensive. And for those of us that want to invest, the only real option that we have, unless you're Bezos, I suppose, is that you have to find areas that work.
Right.
And being able to try to find those areas, there's a lot of information out there, and thanks to YouTube, that's how I found Andrea. And yeah.
So you found me on YouTube, called me up and said, I need a house-ish.
Yeah, so I guess to backtrack a little bit, my grandfather, my whole life, he had never really had just a regular job. And it's like, well, what does this guy do? And
Cool.
He had always had real estate. And that's how, we don't come from, a family of means or just hardworking folks. And he was able to support my grandmother all these years just with real estate deals. So I always had a love for real estate. I didn't really think about it when I was a kid, but the older that I got, I thought, this is really something. Yeah. And so
that's cool. So it's kind of been an aspiration as you've been getting older to kind of, emulate what he was doing and kind of get into it yourself just based on what you saw. That's
Absolutely.
Pretty cool. So I didn't know anything about real estate. Didn't really want to be in real estate or anything like that. My grandmother kept telling me, no, you have to do this. And she actually used to do, in real estate investment, smaller scale than your grandfather probably, but she did real estate investment. She was a real estate broker here in Florida, and she was just poking and prodding and poking and prodding. I finally was just like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll try it. And lo and behold, she was right. I was really good at it. So it's good that you're listening and that you actually took that example and you're following it, because it really is. It can be very lucrative. It can be a really great thing, especially since you probably saw some of the stuff he was doing. And, you can kind of take that and maybe not do some of the pitfalls that some people fall into. So that's really cool.
With the internet and the pitfalls, there's a lot of information out there, that we can all learn from. And so I, obsessed with podcasts, listening to different things and learning a lot through Bigger Pockets. But you get to the point of where how much information is just too much information. Like you're educated, you know a lot, you have the drive, and it's time to take some action. And so when I originally was attracted to more of the turnkey model, found a place in Florida that was doing that, and got involved with them. And they got a little too big for their britches, and they just went to kind of a cash only model. But with that said, that's when I found out about Ocala, and
because they were doing a lot of stuff down here.
Exactly, right. They were doing brand new builds that were already all tenanted up and ready to roll. And so doing more research on Ocala is what took me to YouTube. And if you type in Ocala into YouTube, there's Andrea and all of her fantastic videos.
It's kind of a quantity over quality, but they are there. You will not have a problem finding Ocala Realtor and my face pops up whether you want it or not. So that definitely is a thing. And it's actually, I think, we kind of did the analyzing of that situation, because if it had been a better situation for you, definitely I would have, encouraged you to go in that direction. But, a lot of the area that they're building in and they're telling the out-of-state investors is that it's right by the county dump. I mean, it's like right there. So, you mentioned the area and I'm like, ugh, really? Do that? Okay. Yeah, you could get a tenant for there, but it's also on well water. I'm not really sure how that's going to work out in the long haul, but okay, you do you. I'm not touching it, but you have fun. So yeah, you kind of were looking at it like, well, yeah, they didn't mention that to you, that it's literally in the backyard is this massive mound of, garbage. So, that I think is kind of not great, but that is what helps, you know, if you have a local realtor when
Absolutely.
they know the area. I didn't have to go look at it. I know what's there. And you know, I also know there was a rather sizable sinkhole that opened up in that whole road right in front. So I'm like, you know, not where I would go, but you know, again, it's your money. Here's the information. Do what you like with it. It is your money. You know, and as a realtor, you have to respect that too. So, but again, I think you should have all the information available, and they weren't providing that. So, so we found a house.
We did, and so yeah. And with that said, so thank goodness I found out about Ocala. I saw your videos about the map and realized that not only is just a great area for cash flow, which is impossible to do in California, but it's also appreciation. You get cash flow and appreciation here.
Yeah.
A great way of life. And so, yeah, that took me to you being a local expert. And immediately I could just tell from your videos, I mean, why would you create all these videos unless you were, you know, you live in the area, you're vested, and that trust that was built, you know, just from me being, you know, thousands of miles away and wanting to get more involved. I was like, well, here's my gal. She knows what's going on.
Yay.
And so I got all my financing in line with Ridge Lending, and was able to contact you. I called you up, answered the phone, said, hey, let's do this.
Yeah.
And you started looking immediately.
Yeah.
Sent me links of different options. I ended up going a different route. I didn't go with brand new builds. We looked at some brand new builds.
We did.
Which were some very nice houses by some great local builders, but we soon realized that, you know, when it comes to cash flow, there's a lot more options, and because of your local expertise, you helped steer me in that direction.
Yeah.
You can't get these things, like you can listen to podcasts and you can read a lot of books, but until you get those boots on the ground, the local experts, this was tremendous.
Right. And I think we're still looking at some new construction.
Sure,
I mean, if the right deal comes along, it's just we weren't really looking for your particular situation, you know, what you were wanting to accomplish personally. It wasn't a good fit for you at that particular moment, but another deal was. So, and it wasn't in Ocala. It was actually in one of the kind of suburbs, I guess, or one of the smaller cities around Ocala. It's Ocala Metro, but it wasn't right in Ocala. It was in Bellevue, right? Yeah.
Correct.
So why did you choose Bellevue instead?
Great question. Yeah. So on another one of your videos, you know, we Kevin Sheely.
Kevin Sheely. He's amazing.
Another great video you need to watch of that interview that you did, multiple interviews, but I watched the third interview.
The most recent one, yeah.
I was actually talking with Kevin today, very inspirational, and just everything that's going on around here, guys. I mean, there is so much going on in Ocala, so much growth, so much, they're pro-growth. I know, being from California, we are not. And so that's it. But they also have the way of life.
Yeah.
And so Bellevue, back to Bellevue, it's that great sweet spot. You know, we talk about real estate investors. You know, you get to an area that's already kind of saturated, and you've already kind of missed out on the party. So we have Ocala to the north. We have the villages to the south, and there's Bellevue right in the middle. You know, right in that sweet spot of the path of progress. And there's a lot going on. Even in Bellevue, you know, where I purchased the property, there's a new hospital right down the road. There's all kinds of the Winn-Dixie there that was just redone.
Yeah, and the Wawa gas station just came in. I know that's not a big deal for some of y'all, but seriously, we were really excited when a Wawa comes in. I mean, it's just cool. Anyway, so I mean, yeah, there's a huge the Publix was redone completely. They moved to locations. That was up the road. I didn't take you there, sorry. But it's just this huge 2-story Publix that it's really, really cool, really beautiful. So you can see that construction and that new, you know, and that revitalization coming in, and to be able to you definitely got the jobs in Ocala and also in the villages. The schools are great there, you know, so it really I think it was a great location for you, and it's still, you know, it's not astronomical to buy there. You were able to get a 3-2. Can I tell them?
Please do. Yeah.
So yeah, you were able to get a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, and it was completely remodeled. Had you know, nice new roof and everything, and you got it for $150,000.
That's right.
So yeah. So everybody that says, "Oh, it's impossible to get good deals out there and everything," no, it's not. You got to have some patience. It wasn't our first deal that we were looking at. We definitely went through a few, but but you can still find them. I mean, it's not quite a needle in a haystack, but it's definitely a search, and you have to be, in there, which you were. I mean, you were ready to go, so it worked out well. So why everything that you've done and everything that you're looking at and everything, would you recommend actually going and doing what you've done so far?
Absolutely. I mean, it's a no-brainer. When it comes to the why am I doing this? Well, as I'm just a working class guy. I've got a great job back in California, but both my wife and I, we work really hard, and we're not fully loaded to have all this money to spend. We have to invest wisely, and here in Ocala, this is a wise place to invest. When you look at Florida and the migration coming in versus the migration heading out of California, I mean, if you just only look at that, it's like the people that are coming into Florida, they need places to live.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong here. I mean, even if you didn't get the greatest deal,
yeah,
time will save you. But with that said, there's lots down here. There's new construction. There's existing homes. There's horse country. It's a beautiful place to live. This isn't we're not in downtown Detroit here. We've got
it really is pretty.
It is beautiful, and the people are fantastic. And so for me and my 401k, it's like we work really hard as Americans, and we put our money away, and then inflation, it is what it is. And when you have this pot of money sitting, and inflation's just going to chip away at it, I want to take that money and I want to put it to work. I don't want Wall Street to be able to take care of my future. They don't care. They're about making themselves wealthy, and I need to take care of my own.
Even if you did as an investor decide to go into stocks or bonds or working in the stock market, I would still say you need to be the one directing that traffic. So many are just like, okay, here you go, and they don't do the research themselves and figure out exactly where their investments are and what they're investing in, and when it's time to move, that they just kind of let it sit. And it's just like, no, you really need to be on top of it, because nobody is going to watch your money like you do. Correct. You are the one invested. It is yours. It's what you're working for. It's for your family. You have to be invested in your investments, if that makes sense. But you did mention biggerpockets.com, which is an absolutely phenomenal website.
Yes.
I love that website. Done a couple of blog posts on there, but I have a tendency to get inundated when I start posting any information. It kind of, everybody just messages me, and they just take information like a sponge out of me. So I tend to not post in there very often. Sorry. It's much easier for me to do YouTube. I can kind of have a little more control on response and stuff like that with people. But yeah, it's I kind of get a little inundated over there. So it's like, oh, she knows what she's talking about. So but there are some people that have a little bit better scope of being able to keep up with it all, and people that have been investing in what worked for them and what to watch out for, and they will tell you exactly what they're doing, how they're doing it, and how you can do it as well. And they have no, there's no skin in the game for them. They're just sharing that information because they have gone through the pitfalls, and they're just trying to save you some trauma down the road, because there are things that you can. Yeah, I've definitely made my mistakes and stuff over the years. So if I can save somebody else from doing that, that's awesome. That really is. So so I'm really glad that you were able to do that. But one thing I did find that was hilarious. We were going to lunch yesterday. Mm-hmm. After, got to take a look at his house. Came all the way from California. Got to see his house after he's already closed. So it was sight unseen. Yep. A few videos. That was it. Mm-hmm. And we're having lunch, and he's like, I really liked that video you did with that guy, and he was talking about everything, and I was like, oh yeah, Kevin Sheely, you're talking about the CEO of the CEP, which is the Chamber of Commerce and Economic Partnership or whatever. So so he's like, yeah, that guy. I was like, yeah. He's like, if I stop down at the chamber, do you think he's gonna be there? I'm like, well, sometimes he goes out of town for events and stuff. You'll have to call him. Boom, you were gone. I'm like, where did he just go? He was calling down there. He's like, look, I only have a few days to do this. So you did. Yes. You got a hold of him. You got an appointment for today. And what was that like?
Yeah. So Kevin, Great guy. I went down to just about a little more than an hour ago. I had a meeting with him.
Yeah.
We scheduled that. Got in there. He graciously took me in and spent some time with me. First of all, the chamber, beautiful place. Talk about a place of just excitement and
lucky.
hope.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on. They have beautiful video presentations of the new Amazon Fulfillment Center, of the Dollar General. Is that the world headquarters?
I think it's the largest. I don't know if it's the world headquarters, but I know it is
facility.
the largest distribution center in the world, because they're also adding a whole secondary 14-story portion, which I think is going to be the largest building in our county. Actually, we don't really have a lot of we don't have any skyscrapers here. Let's be honest. But so yeah, I think it's actually going to be the tallest building that we actually have in the county. So yeah, kind of crazy.
So yeah, he went into his office, and I just explained, how I'd met you, watched the video with you and him, and it's just, being able to, we don't have that kind of situation going on in California, to have a place that really focuses on quality of life, but yet wants to grow. They want to be able to provide jobs for, like, if I was to move down here, which, I'm not ruling that out, man.
His wife's over here nodding like, yes, we are.
So we love the place, and there's unfortunately, many years ago, California was that place where people, the dreams, that dream of the California life, which is still there, but well,
yeah, you're trying so hard not to. It's like there's
with everything
things have changed.
Things have changed. And we have awesome equity. We do. But equity doesn't give you any return on your investment. Why not redeploy that equity and be able to put it where it does? But more than that, being able to talk with him and to be able to get that message of hope, what you guys have going on. The website, there's tons of content on there that will show you exactly what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
We live in this digital age with YouTube, and the knowledge is all at our fingertips. You can do this remotely. Get a local expert.
Yeah. If not me, that's cool to get somebody else, but definitely have the local expert.
I recommend Andrea, but and so yeah, with what this guy, busy schedule, took me in. Like, it just speaks volumes of the whole area and the people.
Yeah. Oh, everybody's like that. Honestly, there are very few people. It doesn't matter if they are multi-millionaires or if they are, somebody that just works at a gas station working paycheck to pay. It does not matter. You are treated the same. They act the same. There's very, very few people. Honestly, I can count on one hand how many times, somebody was maybe a little bit snobby. We don't do that here. We just don't do that here. It's kind of crazy. So it doesn't matter if it's the Chamber of Commerce, the CEP president, excuse me, or if it's, some realtor, or if it does not matter. You actually thought I was joking yesterday. I was like, oh yeah, I've run into, Kevin Sheely over at the, Markets, or the market downtown, the farmers market that they do downtown on the square. You'll be just as likely to see him hanging out with his family. You could probably go to Barnes & Noble or Starbucks and run into John Travolta, his family, and he thought I was kidding.
No,
I was like, no. I was like, no, everybody is just, mellow here, it does not matter. So, I think everybody is just kind of very friendly and outgoing, and I think you've seen that so far.
Absolutely.
So that's good.
Yeah, here I was, just this guy that, one little $150,000 house, and he had just had a meeting with, some folks in there that were multi-million-dollar deals, and he took the time out of me. There was absolutely no difference, and
he sees no difference between you.
But see, and that's the great thing about that, is because someday I plan on being that guy sitting across the table talking with Kevin with the multi-million-dollar deals. But we have to start somewhere, and this is where I've chose to start. And I know that whether I'm a first-time investor or for you larger companies that want to come in, this is the place to go, and this is the time to do it.
Yeah.
Come down here now. The state of Florida is open, ready to do business. These local, Marion County, they are ready to roll.
They're ready to do business. They've
absolutely.
been very, very pro businesses, even small businesses like mine. I don't think anywhere else I would have been as openly, helped. They not only welcome you're great, you're wonderful to be an entrepreneur, but they have actually helped considerably. Even my little YouTube channel, Kevin Sheely, he was one of my first guests on there, you know, and he's done it every year, just what's going on, you know. He never treated me like I was less than or anything like that, just because I was a owner of a small brokerage. And we've, you know, grown since then. But that encouragement for a small business owner is so much. It really is truly wonderful. So, yeah.
Well, and speaking of your brokerage,
yes.
How's your brokerage been doing these days?
And doing really good, growing exponentially. I had opened it just hoping that I would have, you know, a little place to do my business and be left alone and, you know, whatever, and kind of make up my own rules as we go along kind of thing. And it's just, I've had so many people that have wanted to have that same thing and join us and stuff. So we've grown so much. We're actually looking for a third location. And if you consider, we've only been open for not even 4 years. It'll be 4 years in January. So, I mean, that's crazy amount of growth. That really is for that short a time for a real estate brokerage. But it's just, we're just expanding like crazy, and all of our agents are awesome. They're really, you know, all the coworkers and everything, they're just really, really great. So, yeah, nothing good things. So, and my TikTok, oh my goodness.
Yes.
I know, I can't stop bragging about this. I will stop soon. I know. But I just barely started on the TikTok like 6 weeks ago, and one of my silliest, goofiest videos is at 2.3 million views right now. So I'm so excited about
What's
that.
your TikTok handle for those that want to check it out?
Thank you. Oh my God, I should have him on all the time. Andrea of Ocala. So it's one of the few handles where I don't have the company name in, but TikTok has business rules, and I wouldn't be able to do as much fun stuff if I had the business in there. So just Andrea of Ocala, which, you know, if you Google Andrea of Ocala, it's going to come up with me anyway. So yeah, that works. Yeah.
Well, awesome.
So, all right, awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And thank you for talking about investing. I know I haven't really talked about it too much on there, even though it's my first love in the real estate game is investing in property management and stuff like that. But we just want to make sure that we were big enough to handle the customers and everything that we had and have before we really open it up to a lot of people. So you're actually in before I really open it up to a lot. But, you know, we've gone from one property manager to now we've got 3 and a property management assistant and stuff. So we're kind of opening it up to others coming in. So, yeah.
And you'll be managing mine.
Yes, absolutely. Right. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, again, thanks so much. And you guys have a good one.
Okay. Thank you.